Happy Monday, everyone. This is the day that we get to hear from our CEO. You're talking about a woman who's been in the industry for more than 30 years. I believe it's a little longer than that, but she has built teams in over 46 countries around the world. She is a mentor to thousands of people. We literally rely on her guidance. And, it's been wonderful because she has guided and taught us. I tell you, personally, more things than I ever thought that I could learn from one person. She has stamina, resilience, and I believe that she's just getting started. Without any further ado, I want to introduce to some and present to others my mentor, my friend, Melissa Boston.
Hey, Kathy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great, great. I didn't hear that whole my favorite thing when it says mute off. So I said, let me make sure. But thank you so much, Kathy. Good morning to you. Oh my goodness, it is the morning we wake up from daylight savings. Okay. So hopefully everybody is feeling good, feeling energized. I know it happened about 24 hours ago, but many of you are still looking for that hour. Okay. You're like, where is it at? And some of you probably did just slept right through. Okay. But that's okay. I'm going to say good morning, good morning, good morning to you anyway. Just super excited this morning because we have such a special powerhouse lineup. And so I want to first just, before I do that, I got to give you, Kathy, your accolades because I'm listening to you. You give me this gracious introduction and you are so gracious and humble when you introduce our callers. But Kathy is our VP of Finance. Kathy is an Emerald Director. She is leading the charge across the country, even internationally, because she has built businesses actually even over in other countries. So I just want to respect and appreciate you, Kathy, for all that you do, wearing so many hats, helping us get it done. And again, good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone on the line. We always kick this call off by sharing the meaning of economies in the hands of God. Our mission, we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering the most life-changing products and an innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. What I want to do first is we have such a special guest that is joining us today. I mean, she is literally, the matriarch of our company. She's doing it so big. We also are uplifting her this morning because we do have special prayer requests for her significant other, Lav Thomas. And so we're going to keep uplifting him. But you know who I'm talking about. It's Beverly Blair. So you're going to actually hear her formal introduction in a moment. But just know today, in honor of Women's History Month, we are honoring her. And just know that all month long, we are honoring and celebrating our female diamonds here at Akana. And so we're also going to hear over the weeks from Gigi Harris, from Terry Anderson, Bernadine Kirkland, and Ann Mooney. I want to also give a shout out because this weekend we had a lot of festivities. Oh my goodness. First, we had our Under the Sea Spa party, and oh my goodness, it was so much fun. Thank you for everyone who attended that event. And then, guess what? We had the big celebration for all of the Pisces here in Akana. And so if you are a Pisces and maybe you didn't attend, happy birthday to you too. But I want to thank everyone for attending. Thank you to all my fellow Pisces, Abana, Sharon Dale, Kenneth Elam, Royal Wilson, Tracy Bolton, Jose Bolton. Oh my goodness. All of you were so fabulous. Look phenomenal. And hey, guess what? Everyone was repping with their crew, and we had a packed out house. We partied like it was 1999. In fact, I left at past 1 a.m. and they were still there partying. Okay, it was just that fun. And did you see Tracy Bolton and her transformation she's experiencing? I'm telling you what, that hemp Govi is going to help us revolutionize weight loss. I'm telling you what, that waist is getting snatched. And I tell you what, it was just so mind-blowing. These testimonials with Hemp Govi are pouring in. This is the it we've been looking for. Take it 3 times daily. I mean, if you really want maximum results, It's important to take it 3 times a day so that you get the serving you need to regulate that blood sugar, to make sure that the body is now becoming a fat burning machine and it's building that muscle. Maybe you don't need to lose weight, but you just need to keep your digestive health in track. Then guess what you need to do? Take it once a day, like I do, so that you can ensure we keep that flat belly, but it also helps with digestive health. I mean, I have some friends who have some major digestive issues, just a lot of things that are going on. In fact, one of my blood type A friends has been taking enzymes and other supplements because of her digestive health. She had a toxemia when she was pregnant, and that's caused decades later just so many challenges with her health. And that hint Govee has been the game changer because her digestive health is back on track. She's having regular eliminations, and I'm telling you what, she's crediting all of that to her hemp Govee. It's even replaced her need to take those enzymes. I got another shout out this morning. I want to thank Gigi Harris and Sandra Glenn Tuck. Y'all know they flew all the way in from Texas to help us Pisces celebrate our season, and they are still here. In fact, they're at the EE system right now as we speak. And you know what? We had to honor them. You know, we had a special red light special, okay? Yes, it's called the red light special. You're going to hear more about it, but last night we had a chance to try it out on them. So they absolutely were in heaven. They said this was something that was much needed. And during our April event, we're going to actually host this whole red light special spa night. And for those of you who want to know what is that, this is where we do the red light therapy. We had the steamers blasted, okay, for the feet. It really helps stimulate and open up, you know, those receptors there. We had our foot baths. We had our foot and our feet, our hand and arm and leg and scalp massages. Oh yes, right? I mean, it was so over the top last night. And they had a chance to try that out. Okay, so guess what? It's going to be a party though. It's going to actually start at 8 p.m. and we're going to have it during our April kickoff here in Chicago when you meet for the Battle of the Blood Types. Speaking of next events, yes, we have that event happening on April the 26th, and tickets go on sale today. So if you want to secure your spot, you want to participate in the Battle of the Blood Type, our red light special. If you want to blow your guest's mind, you want to bring them to that event and invite them to the Battle of the Blood Types. So we are super, super excited, but the next event is May 15th through 18th. And that's going to happen in Orlando, Florida. So I am congratulating once again everyone who earned that event, right? Not just won it, but you earned that event. Make sure you send your flight details to support@akana.com. Also, too, we actually are celebrating double CV. So we're going to be recognizing many of you today for achieving your CV last month. And so I'm going to announce those who have been pushing hard and taking it to the top. And so I'm going to start with Kayada Cooks. Congratulations, Bernadine Kirkland, Diana Coleman, Elizabeth Ann Thompson, Ernestine Davis, Bertha Mines, Marius Mitchell. We know her as Mom Mitchell. In fact, her and James are in Ghana right now. So we're going to keep wishing them traveling mercies as they go and help bring health and wellness across the world. Also, to Gerald West, Reba Dabney. Wow, all of them are qualified now as silver for the month of February. And so we are going to treat them like the rock stars they are and recognize them all across social media. Also, too, we have 2 others that are also silver, but we're calling them Silver Plus because they had over 1,000 in CV. We have Anthony Morris. We have, in fact, that became 2,000, right? We're doubling that CV, but that's Anthony Morris. We had Willie Mooney. So congratulations to you 2 gentlemen. It's always good to see our guys showing up and showing out. But guess what? We had 2 people go for the gold. Yes, I'm telling you here today, they went for the gold, and guess what? They are gold qualifiers. So you know we're going to be celebrating them like the rock stars they are. So Kenneth Elam and Crystal Robinson, congratulations to you both for achieving that milestone in the month of February. And as I mentioned before, January, we had a decent January. I'm not going to say it was one to brag about, but guess what? In February, we witnessed explosive growth, right? We actually almost doubled what we did in January. At first, we called it about a 30% growth, but it really went past 40, almost about 45% growth, which is just unheard of, right? I mean, that was just incredible. And of course, we're going to talk about March in a moment. But what I want to do first, I'm going to go ahead and get out the way because it is time for us to celebrate our shine bright like a diamond. Yes, Beverly Blair. And to do this with me this morning, who actually first conducted the interview, because you're going to hear this also, across social media. We're going to do a whole feature story where this is going to be shared across social media. It's going to be shared via email. I mean, I'm telling you what, this is going to just be an epic, epic celebration of women, who've absolutely taken it to the top. And so our phenomenal Kayetta Cooks, if you look at her extensive resume, everything from kingdom building, helping to support faith-based leaders in high capacity roles, all across this country, but also too in the financial sector. She's risen to the tip top, and here she is already crushing it, hitting our leaderboard and just doing big things also on the corporate level, helping us to get those emails out and helping us to really streamline our processes. So we just love and appreciate you, Kayetta, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this show over to you. And just hit your star.
Good morning, our awesome and amazing CEO, Melissa Boston. Thank you for this moment that I am about to share with the one and only Diamond, Beverly Blair. Good morning.
And Beverly, I need to tell you to hit star. So hit star on your keypad, and that will open up your microphone.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning. How are you feeling this morning? The amazing Diamond, Beverly Blair. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Doing good. First of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to share your journey with us. And your success in Akana is inspiring, and I'm excited to dive into the mindset, strategies, and experiences that helped you achieve this level. It was such an honor talking to you for that about 45 minutes. Thank you for sharing those moments with me. So I want to share those moments with the rest of Akana Nation and give you liberty to just expound on some things. So when we talked, the first thing I wanted to know was who was Beverly Blair, right? Who was Beverly Blair? And you talked to me about you are a mother of two beautiful daughters, Joy and Lori, who actually joined you in business, right? You talked about and a son. I'm sorry. And what's your son's name?
David.
Okay, and David. So Joy, Lori, and David.
Right.
Awesome. And then you shared with me that you were an elementary teacher for 40 years.
Yes, that's correct.
Wow. And so how did you transition? Well, before I talk about the transition, you also talked about, how before being introduced to network marketing, you talked about the hardship that you had experienced growing up and with your children, and you shared about the no food and empty cabinets, and then you transitioned to entrepreneurship. Can you just share with us a little bit about that and how you had the courage to do so?
Oh, yes, that was a turning point of my life. I was on strike. We were on strike. So when you're on strike, there is no money. There's no outside money coming in. We did have the income from my husband, but we were living on two incomes. So when mine disappeared, I needed to supplement it. And what happened was I put down my strike sign, and because we used to meet at the school and walk around the school and build each other up. But when I got home, there was no food here. I had no money. And I remember going to a gas station to buy some bread and actually didn't have any money to buy the bread. So I had been introduced to Amway, and of course, I was busy teaching and raising my kids, so I told them I didn't have time to do Amway. Plus, I didn't want to go out and sell soap anyway. And then when I got back home and realized I needed something to supplement my non-existent income, so I called Amway and asked them if they had someone who I could be sponsored by, and they gave me a guy who was Filipino who lived really about 10 blocks from my house, and he took us under his wings, and we learned how to really build a business through Amway. So that's how I got into multi-level.
Wow. Now talking about Amway, and you also talked to me about Aloe Vera International, right, where you made like $30,000 a month there. You're really crushing it there, and then you got to a point where you were able to quit teaching in 2003. Is that correct?
That is correct. I had a warehouse. Well, he decided that his company was in Mokina, and so a lot of people couldn't go out there to get products. It would cost a lot to have your products delivered. So he decided, the owner of the company, who I personally worked with in Aloe International, and so he would call me up in the morning and say, okay, Beverly, what we got to do today? And so he was available to help me build my business. And I had the opportunity to have a warehouse. It was 111th, and we moved like $100,000 worth of products out of that warehouse every month, and had our meetings. And so actually, I've really met some great people in multi-level, and it changed my life. $30,000 a month will definitely change your life. And then he had a lot of trips. We went to Greece and Hawaii, won a car, jewelry. Actually, I didn't have time to work anymore. I was doing so much. So anyway, his business did go out of, he died and his business just went out of business. So I was on the lookout for something else, and guess what? I found Melissa and Phyllis.
Wow. So you taking that leap of faith. At first it was I don't have time, but then you understood that you had a need, and so you stepped out on faith, and then you went into business, and you had formed partnership with someone where you grew a business and expanded. So you had experience in leadership and achieving success and won all kinds of trips. And then life happened. There was a transition, like with most people, right? Life happens. And so you quickly identified that you needed to shift. And then there was a divine intervention where you met Phyllis and Melissa. Can you just share with us about that?
Yeah, well, I had gotten into a business, and actually the lady who was at the top of our business quit. And so I didn't have any upline. And I remember talking to the owner of the company, and so he was telling me that, I could do it on my call. The person who was next in line was a lady in Canada who wasn't interested in me or my little small team. But I did go to a meeting that Phyllis was running, and I said, well, why can't I have Phyllis as a sponsor? So I asked her, and she said, oh, that would be nice, Beverly, but I don't think you can make that happen. Actually, in fact, I know you just can't transfer it to me. So the next meeting I was at, and the owner of the business was there. I told him that I needed a sponsor. I was an orphan, and that I needed a sponsor, and that I had chosen a sponsor. So he told me to call his office, ask for his secretary, and about 3 days later, they transferred me to Phyllis and my team. My whole
Wow.
team.
Wow. So you knew you needed to make a transition. You knew you needed to do something. You found an amazing opportunity. And when you got in, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't perfect. And you knew you needed something else. So it sounds like you were you were willing, coachable, and hungry. And you did what you needed to do because you knew this was an amazing opportunity to do what you've already done and do it again. So let's talk about that, because as a diamond leader in the company, if people don't know, that means you've achieved 100,000 in sales. Now, when you build a business, we know that's not just all on you. So you had a team, right? You had a team. And so let's talk about that team that was on the run with you when you went diamond. We talked about what was your strategy, your mindset, what was your focus and your goal when you were on that diamond run. And what you shared with me was a true representative of a leader, someone who loved and cared about people and wanted to make a difference. And one of the things that you said was that you were focused on developing and building 3 emerald teams. And
Correct.
then you said that you look to focus on the 2 legs in your business, build them up, and then focus on that 3rd leg to go emerald. Can you talk about that for us a little bit?
Well, I was very fortunate. I had a runaway leg. So I had a leg that no matter what I did, they were going to meet their goal. So I had to focus really on building up 2 legs in order to reach. Actually, what you're looking for was a balance of like 33% from each leg. I ended up that month at 300,000 instead of 100,000 because everybody was working for a trip. They were working for their own goals, and we had a lot of activities going on. So actually, at the end of the month, I had really surpassed my goal. I didn't quite make it to Diamond 2, but I was very close. So it was an amazing journey to get to Diamond.
Wow. So I know that we talked about your team. If you can just mention some of those key leaders on your team and your mentors. I know when I asked you who were your mentors, like who did you pull on in that time, and you mentioned Phyllis Nash, Melissa Boston, Willie Mooney, Shannon King, and Sylvia Covington. Tell us about that support system. What were they like for you, and what were you like for them?
Okay, well, first of all, in order to reach any goal, you have to have faith in yourself, and you actually need to be surrounded by people who have faith in you too. So, of course, Phyllis and Melissa kept saying, "You can do this," and actually, you begin to say, "Yeah, I can do this," and then you go from "I can" to "I will," and "I'm going to do this." So it's like you magically get there, but it's a process. And of course, Willie Mooney was a great leader. He's in my downline, and so he had a terrific team. And then Sylvia had a terrific team. And then we sponsor people like Iola Common, and we just had really lots and lots of people that we have brought into the business. And what I try to do with the people of my business is to find out what their dreams are. Because people actually are not working for you, they're working for themselves. So do they want to quit their jobs? Are they looking for a new home? Do they want better health? Do they want financial security? Do they want to win a trip and go on a vacation? And one thing about our trips that we win is that not only do we win the trip, but then we make enough money in our business to spend on our trips. And then you have to know that what you're offering people is an opportunity of a lifetime. So I have people who are still working day in and day out in the company, and that leads to new people because there's people everywhere who's looking, especially now. I was listening to Roland Martin, and he was saying that now they're really thinking that some powers in our country really want to take away the Black achievements that we and our ancestors have brought us to today. And so what better business can a person have than to work for themselves, better their health, and provide for their family, especially if the jobs are going to be taken away or they no longer exist.
Wow. That brings me to the message. I asked, what was your message to your team? And what were you most passionate about? And you blew me away with this answer. You said you're most passionate about helping other people. You said people can look at you and say and cheer you on because they can see that you can do it, but they most oftentimes struggle with seeing themselves do it. And so you were very focused and passionate about finding out what it is that they wanted for their families and then telling them, yes, I know you see I'm doing it and I can do it, but guess what? You can do it too. And then you also shared that you're most passionate about vision boards. So you have created 3 books of vision boards. Can you tell me about that and how that has helped you shape your financial freedom?
Yeah, because actually the most important person that you have to convince is yourself. You can look around and you can see other people who are very successful. I think when I first saw Melissa, she was getting an award. Oh, she had just made $72,000. And so you see that the other people can do it, but you have to really work on yourself. And then you need to talk to the people on your team because they need to believe in themselves. So anyway, I found something that I shared with my team. So can I read a little bit of it to you?
You sure can.
Okay, it says I've changed where I live. My address has permanently changed. I have changed my address. I moved away from Brook Alley, located at the corner of Pitiful Poverty Lane and Down and Out Boulevard. As of today, I have changed my home address. I live in the wonderful Abundance God Care neighborhood. Prosperous ideas flow, and good and plenty are mine upon request. My new address is 111 Good and Plenty Drive at the intersection of Living Well and Prosperity Point. I no longer allow myself to stand on the corners of Robin Peter to pay Paul's Court, located at the dead end intersection of Failure Place, and I don't have lane. I have no business hanging out at Failure Place near Excuse Avenue next to Procrastination Point. I am now permanently surrounded by the stress and success community. Life is a good place and unlimited possibility point. I no longer tell God how big my storms are. I tell my storms how big my God is.
Wow. Wow. That could close the call right there. And I'm glad it's recorded because Nation, I know you want to go back and listen to that part right there because that was the GPS for success. Before I close out this interview, I just want to quickly mention her core values, her milestones, and then turn it back over to Kathy and Melissa. But she shared with us that her core values is persistence, focus, belief, and work day and night. Her message to the team was to dream big, to stretch, that everybody is a winner, and you want to talk to everyone you see, and share this information with them. And her milestones was 300,000 in volume, recognition for reaching 1.6 million in sales by October 16, 2021, and she has had over 3 million in sales over her Akana career. And she is the first lady diamond outside of the C-suite, the founder. And we just want to thank you so very much for just sharing with us your secrets, your gifts, your talents. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and experiences, your journey, Beverly Blair, Diamond Beverly Blair. Your journey is truly inspiring. And before we wrap it up, is there any final piece of advice you'd give to someone who is looking to reach the diamond level in Akana?
Yes, I do have something. Don't give up. Know what you want. Go for what you want. Determine that what you want is available to you and available to everybody on your team. Talk to your people and let them know that they can become anything that they want. Find out what they want, and you sit down with them and you make a plan so you can help them get to where they want to go to. Because this business is built on everybody reaching their goals. So you just can't reach your goals unless they reach theirs. And especially now, I mean, we are living in a time I never thought I would ever see. And multi-level, to me, is the vehicle that is going to change a lot of people's lives. And so you're in an excellent company, excellent leadership, excellent products. What else do you need?
Exactly. And her favorite products, guys, is pain cream, broad spectrum gummies, black seed oil, peppermint oil spray, and the power tincture. There you have it, folks. The amazing Diamond Beverly Blair dropping diamond nuggets. Go ahead, Melissa Boston and Kathy, you got the ball.
Wow. Wow. That was absolutely amazing. I'm just blown away, Beverly. And you know what? You never fail to amaze me because when you meet Beverly, for those of you who've never met her, first, she's one of the sharpest dressers you will ever meet. I mean, she's always got her bling, she's got her style, her finesse, her affirmations, her positivity, her leadership, her ideas. She's one of the people that constantly, they say iron sharpens iron. She calls with her ideas and different things. So a lot of what you see as a kind of success, Beverly has been such a contributor to that success. You know, I call her my blood type A sister because she is a blood type A. She's also a fabulous Sagittarius, okay? And so many of you who have also been at our office, you've probably seen her on our wall. So yes, she is there. That beautiful, radiant smile right there on the wall when you walk in the back door from the rear parking lot. Her and Lav, Willie Mooney, and Mooney, of course, you know, the founders are there as well. So Beverly, we salute you. You are absolutely amazing, and this was off the chain. So thank you, Kayetta, for all the work, and we can't wait to see that interview that you put out there in newsletter format so we can read and just learn more about Beverly and all of these nuggets we've just absorbed. And so, guys, I'm going to just close it out with an update because at this point we are out of time. But I want to just piggyback on what I started with. Obviously this is a new year and we are super excited about 2025. And as Beverly said, hey, listen, in this economy with what you're witnessing right now, there is no better time to be in the industry of network marketing. So it is time to get busy. And so, yes, we had a decent start in January, but in February, we blew all of our projections through the roof, experiencing over 40% growth, prepared to have the most explosive March. In fact, 18 months ago, we called out that 2025 would be a year of billion-dollar big. And let me tell you something, that the bamboo story has never, resonated so deeply with me than this moment right now, because what we're seeing, what we're witnessing, this is going to be a year of significant growth, okay? But in order to get to that growth, there was a necessary shift that 18 months ago, we didn't even know we needed to make, okay? But fortunately, and I'm going to say fortunately, because things that happen for a reason. It happens for a purpose. And in life, you either learn the lesson or the blessing or both, okay? And so our CBD merchant, who also does this for the bigger little companies, I would call them. They're not the big ones, but they're the ones that you see on Shopify and many of the outlets that are out there. They decided they're making a shift. They decided they're focusing just on the wellness side. They're not going to focus on the CBD side. So as you guys know, right, we're making some major shifts and adjustments. But here's the good news. The good news is the major shifts that it required us to make are really the ingredients because it's kind of like you make a cake, you leave out the eggs, right? You leave out one ingredient and you can get there, but it's just not going to be the same. And so these little shifts are what actually will support our billion-dollar big drive as we really continue to kick off this momentum that we are walking into, a season of massive, massive momentum, a season where we are more focused than ever, okay? But here's how they're helping us to make that happen, okay? We're going to actually have all the products displayed on the site, but we are separating them by brands. So we're going to have the Akana brand, and the Akana brand focuses on what? Wellness. So all of our non-CBD products, which you can see them right now when you go to the site, and we have over 48 of them if you didn't know. And we started that shift 3 years ago, really ensuring that we had a lot of variety with the health and wellness because we had the resistance happening. You weren't here with us in the beginning, guys. I'm telling you, we had merchants who stole as much as $70,000. We had big name companies, even the ones in the United States like Square, $32,000, PayPal over $5,000, right? Just literally taking money because the CBD industry was so precarious. It was so unpredictable. It was non-regulated. And so we were going through things, and we call that the period of the unseen, right? The things that people just never knew. And I talked about that also a couple weeks ago. But here's the deal. By separating the brands, what it does for us, it allows us to take our Akana brand seamlessly around the world because, many countries don't allow CBD. They ban it. It's not welcomed in those countries. And so it really limits your ability to go international. But then making our CBD brand, it's going to be branded as Wakana CBD. So it's really two brands on one site. So you can still have the opportunity to purchase, your Akana wellness, but you're also going to be able to purchase your CBD. But legally, we're doing this so that we can prevent the entanglements that CBD creates. Because if you look at the network marketing industry, there's no billion-dollar company selling tinctures and gummies, right? And the reason why, because it's not federally regulated from a banking level, even though it's legal, but it's not federally regulated from a banking level. And so many people were like, Melissa, why are we making such a shift to health and wellness? They didn't understand, but not understanding that it's also important that we look at what the big companies are doing and why they're staying away, because they understand you have to protect the team, you got to protect longevity. And so it's exciting that we're going to be able to have both, do it under both brands and do it under one site. So you'll still make, your residuals, all that, good stuff that we get, the experience that Beverly talks about with that pain cream and the gummies. I know, Beverly, those are many of our favorite products, right? But we're now in the season that's requiring us to have this shift. But it's so necessary to ensure our billion-dollar big, because when supernatural growth happens, it's no different than what I shared last week. It's like that bamboo tree. You know, for 5 years, we've been toiling, right? We've been planting, we've been working. And then all of a sudden, boom, vertical growth, massive explosion. And what we see what's happening right now with our Hemgovi, with our sales that we just witnessed last month. Oh my goodness, even now, many of you have been calling Kathy. We see thousands of dollars pouring in every day. So continue to call customer service support. We can still process all orders, no differently. Just the difference right now, for the next few days, continue to call the 188 number. Kathy will get all of those credit card orders processed for you and your customers. But we are about to move into a new phase, okay, where we're going to have not only our credit card processing more seamless than ever, our website design more with the ability for us to scale across the world and move into that billion-dollar big. And so if you have any questions, continue to reach out to support. We're going to have updates all week. But what is so exciting, as I looked at last week, despite the fact we had this minor adjustment we had to make for just a small, short period of time, we still witnessed goals being met, numbers being hit. Many of you were calling in with your customers, getting those orders in, and guess what? We're going to have another explosive week, okay? This is Women's History Month. We're going to show up and we are going to show out, okay? And so I am super excited. And 2:30 p.m., make sure you join our trichologist, Doris Mosley, because we're going to show you how to save our strands. And then tomorrow, make sure you tune in to the Diamond Factory at 8 a.m. Central, because I'm going to say this on every call. Our 2025 vision for Akana is clear: health, wealth, freedom, and legacy for every person we touch. Let's move forward together. No looking back. And I want each of you to have an Akana day. We're going to see you at the top, the very top, the tip top.